Mavulus Island, Philippine territory. 2:43 p.m. Bright afternoon sun. 200 U.S. Marines conducting joint exercises with Philippine forces. Small island, 8 miles long, 130 miles from Chinese coast. Then Chinese radar activated. 31 DF-16 ballistic missiles launched from mainland China, all targeting one objective: the island, the Marines, maximum casualties. Beijing's message was clear. This island is too close to China. American forces here are unacceptable. Destroy them. Force withdrawal. Show dominance. China calculated they had perfect strike. Ballistic missiles, high explosive warheads, small island, Marines couldn't escape. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. But China made 5 catastrophic mistakes. First, 2 U.S. Navy destroyers were 12 miles offshore. Aegis systems, SM-3 interceptors, designed to kill ballistic missiles. Second, USS America amphibious assault ship was 20 miles away. 8 AH-1Z Viper helicopters, 12 F-35B stealth fighters ready to respond. Third, Philippine Air Force and Navy were operating nearby, ready to defend their territory. Fourth, Japan authorized immediate support for American forces under attack. Fifth, the moment those missiles launched, 9 Chinese military bases were already targeted for destruction. 29 minutes, 31 missiles intercepted, 200 Marines safe, 9 Chinese bases obliterated. Beijing learned you never fire at U.S. Marines. This is that story.
Mavulus Island, northernmost island of Philippines. Tiny, rocky, barely inhabited, but strategically critical. Sits between Philippines and Taiwan, controls sea lanes. China claims it, Philippines owns it, America defends it. At 10 a.m., 200 U.S. Marines arrived. Joint training exercise with Philippine Marine Corps. Build defensive positions, practice amphibious operations, show presence. Message to Beijing: we're here, we're staying. Colonel James Carter led Marine detachment. Marines, this island is Philippine territory. We're here by invitation. China doesn't like it. They'll watch us, maybe harass us, but we continue mission. Build rapport with our Filipino brothers. Defend this island if necessary. At 1 p.m., Chinese Southern Theater Command held emergency meeting in Guangzhou. Topic: American Marines on Mavulus Island. Chinese General: this is unacceptable. Americans 130 miles from our coast, on island we claim, conducting military exercises. This is provocation. We must respond with force. Decision made. Launch ballistic missile strike. Destroy American forces. Sink any ships nearby. Force evacuation. Demonstrate that islands near China are off limits to U.S. military. At 2:15 p.m., 6 Chinese DF-16 ballistic missile batteries positioned in Fujian Province received launch orders. Coordinates: Mavulus Island. Warhead type: high explosive fragmentation, designed to kill personnel in open. At 2:30 p.m., Marines on island noticed unusual activity. Chinese military aircraft flying patterns, increased radio traffic, something brewing. Colonel Carter: everyone on alert. China might try something. Get to hardened positions. Ready defensive systems. At 2:40 p.m., U.S. Space Force satellites detected thermal blooms across Fujian Province, multiple locations, massive heat signatures. Alert transmitted. Ballistic missile launch detected. China, multiple missiles, count 31. Trajectory: Mavulus Island. Impact: 4 minutes. At 2:43:10 p.m., 31 Chinese DF-16 ballistic missiles launched. Boom, boom, boom.
6 different launch sites, all firing simultaneously. Missiles rising, accelerating, heading toward small island with 200 Marines. At 2:43:10 p.m., USS John Paul Jones and USS Mustin, 2 Arleigh Burke destroyers 12 miles from island, detected launches on Spy 6 radar. Vampire, Vampire, multiple ballistic missiles inbound, count 31, targeting Mavulus Island. Captain Sarah Mitchell, John Paul Jones commander, engage all threats, launch SM-3s, protect those Marines. At 2:43:20 p.m., both destroyers began firing SM-3 Block 2A interceptor missiles, designed to destroy ballistic missiles in space. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. 24 SM-3s launched in 30 seconds, racing into sky, tracking Chinese missiles. At 2:44 p.m. on Mavulus Island, air raid sirens activated. Ballistic missile attack inbound. All personnel to bunkers. This is not a drill.
200 Marines scrambled, running to underground shelters, hardened bunkers, reinforced positions. 60 seconds to impact. But some Marines couldn't reach cover in time, still exposed, still in danger. At 2:45 p.m., first SM-3 interceptors engaged Chinese missiles, 150 kilometers above Earth. Space interceptions. First Chinese missile destroyed. Kinetic kill, direct hit. Second missile destroyed. Third, fourth, fifth. SM-3s performing perfectly, each interceptor eliminating 1 ballistic missile. But 31 missiles versus 24 interceptors. Math didn't work. 7 missiles would break through. At 2:46 p.m., 7 Chinese missiles entered terminal phase, descending toward island, 30 seconds from impact. USS John Paul Jones fired final SM-2 Standard missiles, shorter range, terminal defense. 3 more Chinese missiles destroyed, 4 remaining. At 2:46:30, Philippine Navy frigate BRP Jose Rizal, operating nearby, fired its own interceptors. First time Philippine Navy engaged ballistic missiles in combat. 2 missiles destroyed, 2 Chinese missiles remaining. 10 seconds to impact. At 2:46:40, first Chinese missile struck island, northern beach, massive explosion, shrapnel, crater, but area was evacuated, no casualties. Second missile hit central hills, explosion, trees shattered, but Marines were in bunkers, protected. At 2:46:45, attack over. 31 Chinese missiles launched, 29 intercepted, 2 hits on island, 0 Marine casualties. Everyone safe. Bunkers worked. Defense succeeded. Colonel Carter emerged from bunker. Sound off. Everyone okay? All Marines accounted for. 0 wounded, 0 killed. Perfect defensive success. But at 2:43:30, while missiles were in flight, U.S. Pacific Fleet had authorized massive retaliation. 2:43:30 p.m. Chinese missiles still flying, but American counterstrike already launching. USS America, 20 miles from island, received alert. Mavulus under ballistic missile attack. 31 missiles inbound. Marines endangered. Request immediate strike authorization. Admiral Patricia Hayes, launch everything. China just attacked U.S. Marines. Destroy every base that fired those missiles, now. At 2:44 p.m., 12 F-35B Lightning II stealth fighters launched from America's deck, each armed with 8 GBU-53 Stormbreaker bombs, 96 precision weapons total. At 2:45 p.m., 8 AH-1Z Viper attack helicopters launched, 64 Hellfire missiles combined. Mission: strike Chinese naval assets near Philippines. At 2:46 p.m., 4 Japanese F-15Js operating from Okinawa received request. U.S. Marines under Chinese missile attack. Request strike support. Japan's response: authorized. Our pilots launch now. 4 F-15Js loaded with precision bombs, heading toward Chinese targets. At 2:47 p.m., USS John Paul Jones and USS Mustin fired 48 Tomahawk cruise missiles. Target: all 6 Chinese missile batteries that fired. At 2:48 p.m., 12 F-35Bs reached Chinese coast, invisible to radar, stealth technology. China never detected them. Target: 6 DF-16 ballistic missile batteries in Fujian province. At 2:50 p.m., 96 Stormbreaker bombs released, GPS-guided, precision strikes. Battery Alpha, Xiamen, 16 bombs. Launch vehicles destroyed, missiles in reload position obliterated, command trailer collapsed, entire battery eliminated. Battery Bravo, Jiangsu, 16 bombs. Mobile launchers destroyed, fuel trucks exploded, crew casualties, battery gone. Battery Charlie, Quanzhou, 16 bombs. Launch positions destroyed, ammunition storage chain reacted, massive fireball. Battery Delta, Fuzhou, 16 bombs. Launchers obliterated, support vehicles destroyed, regional command bunker collapsed. Battery Echo, Ningde, 16 bombs. Battery destroyed, radar installations eliminated, communications destroyed. Battery Foxtrot, Putian, 16 bombs. Final battery eliminated, all launch equipment destroyed. All 6 Chinese missile batteries that fired at Marines destroyed in 3 minutes. At 2:52 p.m., 48 Tomahawk missiles struck Chinese military support infrastructure. 3 ammunition depots storing DF-16 missiles hit with 24 Tomahawks, chain reaction explosions, hundreds of ballistic missiles destroyed in storage. 2 missile maintenance facilities struck with 12 Tomahawks, repair capability eliminated, equipment destroyed. 1 regional military command center hit with 12 Tomahawks, coordination bunker collapsed, staff casualties. At 2:54 p.m., 4 Japanese F-15Js struck Chinese radar installations. Samurai flight beginning attack run for our American allies. 16 precision bombs dropped on 4 Chinese early warning radar stations, all destroyed. China's surveillance capability degraded. At 2:56 p.m., 8 AH-1Z Vipers attacked Chinese naval vessels harassing Philippine fishing boats near island. 4 Chinese Coast Guard cutters, acting as military vessels, fired upon with 64 Hellfire missiles. Complete overkill. All 4 vessels destroyed, sunk, crews casualties.
At 2:58 p.m., Philippine Air Force FA-50 fighters join strike. 8 aircraft, 32 precision bombs. Targeting Chinese military outpost on disputed reef. 16 bombs destroyed facilities. Communications destroyed. Garrison eliminated. At 3:02 p.m., USS John Paul Jones and Mustin fired 2nd Tomahawk salvo, 24 missiles. Target: Chinese military airfields in Fujian used to support operations near Philippines. 2 air bases, runways cratered, hangars destroyed, fuel storage obliterated, aircraft damaged. At 3:06 p.m., 12 F-35Bs conducted final strikes.
Chinese naval base at Xiaochuo, supporting operations in South China Sea, struck with 48 Stormbreaker bombs. Pier facilities destroyed, fuel depot burned, communications collapsed. At 3:12 p.m., 29 minutes after China launched first missile, Allied strikes complete. Total ordnance delivered: 96 Stormbreaker bombs, F-35Bs, 72 Tomahawk missiles, destroyers, 64 Hellfire missiles, Vipers, 16 precision bombs, Japanese F-15Js, 32 bombs, Philippine FA-50s. Total 280 precision weapons. Targets destroyed: 6 Chinese DF-16 missile batteries, all that fired, 3 ammunition storage facilities, 2 maintenance centers, 2 airbase facilities, 4 radar installations, 4 Coast Guard vessels, 1 disputed outpost, 1 naval base, 9 major Chinese military sites destroyed, 14 supporting facilities eliminated. Estimated Chinese casualties: 1,863 military personnel. Allied losses: 0. Not one aircraft damaged, not one ship hit, not one Marine wounded. Perfect defense. Overwhelming retaliation.
2:43 p.m. China fires 31 ballistic missiles at island with 200 U.S. Marines, attempting mass casualties, forced withdrawal. 3:12 p.m. 29 minutes later, all missiles intercepted, 0 Marine casualties, 9 Chinese bases destroyed, 1,863 Chinese casualties. Allied forces, America, Japan, Philippines, respond together. 280 precision weapons, 6 missile batteries eliminated, 3 ammunition depots obliterated. Marines stay on island. Mission continues. China's attack fails completely. This is Operation Island Shield. You fire at Marines, you lose your bases. You threaten U.S. forces, you face Allied response. You attack Philippine territory, you lose capability. 29 minutes, 9 bases, 0 Marines wounded. Never fire at U.S. Marines. Never attack Allied territory. Never test Allied resolve. Because 29 minutes later, your bases are gone, your missiles are destroyed, your threat is eliminated. Never attack Marines.